Alright, this is another bread. This one is 8 grams of salt, 350 grams of water, and a total of 450 grams of flour, which is a small amount of wholemeal, 100 grams of spelt, and 300 grams of bread flour. And it just mixed it all up with a wooden spoon, plus 100 grams of sourdough starter. I'm going to do the first stretch and fold. First I wet my hand, nice wet hand, stretch, turn the ball, stretch, turn the ball. Nice and sticky, bit higher hydration than usual. Okay, I'll leave that for 2 hours.
All right, time for another stretch and fold. Going to wet my hand to stop it from sticking and pull this over on all 4 sides. And do this just a couple more times to be safe. And we're going to rest it for 1 hour now.
We are now doing stretch and fold number 3. You can see it's quite smooth. If you're not getting much action, you can also do this. Okay. Now we'll rest it for 1 more hour. Now for stretch and fold number 4. Did 4 this time instead of 3 because I wanted a more open crumb. So let's hope that works. I also made the dough wetter than I usually do, because that also should make the crumb more open. So the wholemeal flour I added or not. See, once it stops stretching, you can't do it much more. Okay, that's that. Now we'll rest it 1 more hour and then do a pre-shape, which is basically this again, but with flour and rolling it into a ball. Okay, now we're going to do the pre-shape. I've put some flour on the side, I've put some flour on the bread, and I'm going to wet my hand. And get this flour out of the bowl. Sorry, the dough out of the bowl. Now I'm going to fold everything in again with the flour now. So the outside is dry with the flour and the inside is wet. Going to do this. Bit more flour. I want a bit of flour on top now. kind of want to tuck everything underneath as best as you can. The wetter it is, the harder this is. So use less water, I guess. I was planning on using a lot less flour this time, but that has not happened. Alright, I think that's good enough. Now just cover that with a tea towel and leave it 1 more hour. Okay, final step is shaping. I have prepared a bassinet basket with rice flour in it. I'm going to turn this over somehow or other. Let it spread out. It is already spread out plenty, I think. Okay. Still spreading. Alright. When it's spread out, I'm going to take the sides like that, fold them in. So you have like a sort of closed book shape. I'm going to take the end, stretch it out, and roll. I do not have much tension or tightness in this dough, unfortunately. It's just coming out a bit scuffed. I'm going to pick it up and stick it in here. That was very poorly made bread, so let's see how it will come out tomorrow. I think I used too much water, not enough flour, and just didn't do those last 2 steps very well because of that. Oh well. Put it in the fridge as well.
Alright, it's the next morning. We're going to take out our proofed loaf in the banneton and leave it out to warm up a little bit. Then we're going to put our Dutch oven in the oven. I've already put it in there. Then turn it on to bake 250 and preheat. Alright, the oven is preheated, so I tip out the banneton with the bread in it onto a sheet of parchment paper, and we'll need to take out the Dutch oven. The steam you get past. Now, we need to score the bread. So you get a sharp blade, a razor on an end of a stick like this is ideal, a scoring knife, there we go. It's good enough. Now I'm going to cut along the center of the bread at a 45-degree angle, like so. Now that the bread is scored, I can lower it into the Dutch oven, careful not to burn myself, and then finally put the lid back on. This Dutch oven is preheated, so make sure to handle it carefully. Open the oven and put it in for about 15 minutes, covered. Okay, the bread's been in the oven for 15 minutes, so we're going to take it out and remove the lid. Oh, look at that oven spring. The main factors that affect this is how long you've proofed it for, how well you manage to shape it, and the cut you make on the top. Now we're going to put it back into the oven for 25 to 35 minutes, depending on how much of a brown crust you'd like, without the lid. Alright, it's been about 23 minutes. I labelled the times wrong earlier. You want to be doing this phase for 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to open it up. That looks pretty nicely browned, so I'm happy with where it's at. There we go. I can turn the oven off. And there's the bread with much oven spring. Beautiful.